out here, and I believe a beautiful weekend in your place of abode, wherever you are watching from. I want to give a shout out to you and your family and your loved ones everywhere you are. I want to thank God for you and you and you. Yes, I am very excited to be live with you today and to share my peace of mind with you, knowing full well that you too have your take on the goings on in the world that we live in today. So, my take and belief is that the world is in a confused state. Yes, that's why I titled is the world confused. Yes, you'll be wondering why this title is the word confused. Let me go the same on FB so I can just make sure that everything is very well and alive together. Yes, is the word confused is an understatement. Why is it an understatement? Because we all know quite frankly that the world is in a confused state. Yes, that the fact that we are not on in a second world war is something that is even more exciting and more, yes, rewarding to know that we are not in a second world war, or I mean third world war, I beg your pardon. Should be something we should be glad about, that we are still all like watching in a film like though we are in a movie. Yes. So, but we just want to thank God that the prayer of the saints and the prayer of everyone is keeping the world to be a peaceful place. So, we are thankful that the world, though there are wars everywhere, it is not totally chaotic. It is still manageable. Is the world confused? So that is why I came up with the concept of this very topic, is the world confused? Yes, to let us know that the world is not totally in good shape that it ought to be. So we have to find a way of managing and then uh, putting what has been broken right. If we can just, yes, I can see a whole lot of people online. Is the word confused? A lot of people are here, just here right now. Please, I want you to subscribe to my channel. I just beg you, just give me a thumbs up, and then just like and love. The world seems to be confused, in my own opinion. Yes, the big apple, the big brother, the world that seems to be like the police of the world is in a confused state. Yes, the West is confused, Europe is confused, Africa is confused, Asia is confused. Yeah, where else in the world do we have people that are behaving sane? Everybody is like insane and doing things like though there is no tomorrow. So, in my opinion, I believe the world is confused. That is my take. What do you think? What do you think? Is the world confused in your own opinion? So, let me know. Is the world confused? Yes, I really believe that the world is confused because of the happenings around America since the coming in of Trump. It seemed to be confused. The entire people that voted for Trump and they're like, what is going on here? And those that didn't vote for him, they are like, what the hell is going on here? And Africa is in a mess. You have South Africa is battling with its yes, so apartheid past, and is grappling with all his insult from America. Then you have the Central Africa Republic, where you have Congo, Rwanda, and the rest. They are battling. And then you have West Africa, you have Burkina Faso, you have Niger and Mali breaking out of ECOWAS. Yes, where else in the world do you have Sudan and all its things going on there. So nowhere actually is safe. Nowhere actually you find tranquility. So that is why I am of the opinion that the world looks confused. Confused in the sense that there is no peace. Is it Europe? Europe is not really together when it comes to the ability to unite and be able to stand off against Russia that is lording it over on them and trying to squeeze Ukraine and put Ukraine at a very tough corner. Whereas in the world, you think has no issue. Yes, I was talking about China. China is a repressive regime that tends to want to put all its neighbor Taiwan and yeah, all other countries there in the South Asia Pacific in a very big mess. What are we talking about? World is confused, and only in a few places we can say the world is having some tranquility, maybe in the Scandinavian, out there in Europe, part of Europe, and maybe in Australia. Yes. Thank you for jumping in, please. Wherever you are, I want to jump right in. You are here. You just came in, you rushing. I saw 25 people, but after a while, everybody disappeared. So please, I want to stay put and just have some time with me because I am coming with some kind of word that will help us to navigate our world in a very very unique manner because we have a world that looks very confused, and I must say that it is very important that we all put our heads together to see how we can redeem our world in a manner that will be appealing to the next generation. Yes, this generation is been battling, trying to cope with all manner of insurgents. You have the Middle East that has been shattered. Israel and Palestine, the Palestinians, they have been at loggerhead for the past 1 year or thereabout, and the case is not even abating. Yes, where in the world can we say is safe? Yes, so that's why I came with this title. Is the world confused? In your opinion, my opinion, the world is confused. Is really confused, and there's nothing really going on that we can uh, that we can really write home about. So that is why I am of the opinion that we can all suggest what we can do to put the world in a place that it is manageable. Yes, so yes, like I said earlier, since we are not having the third world war yet, we can all be a little bit optimistic that we can at least sail in a world of relative peace, but the peace actually um, is very questionable because a lot of places around us are having some chaotic regimes. So yes, what is your take? Please put in the comment section and let me know what you think about the world. Yes, I've just highlighted what is going on in the Middle East, the chaotic situation between Palestinians and the Israelis. For the past 1 year plus, it's been chaotic. And then we have in Europe, Russia is battling with Ukraine, and then Europe is trying to cope with the aftermath. Yes, we have Central African Republic and Rwanda, Congo are trying to manage the fallout between the Tutsis and the Hutus. Yeah, in part of Congo and Rwanda, and then we have West Africa coast region, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are already out of ECOWAS. Yes, Nigeria is battling with Boko Haram in the northeast, and then there's a fallout with the so-called northeast eastern security network that is killing its people, destroying the social fabric of the people of Nigeria in the southeast region of Nigeria. Yes, what else are we thinking about? The chaotic in the world is taking a toll on the common man, and that's why we have to come all together and then begin to chart a way forward. And the only way forward is to appeal to God and then appeal to our conscience and see how we can, yes, how we can take the world to a better place with our continuing prayers and then supplication. Bible says we saw prayer and supplication in the spirit. We watch in the Bible, job perseverance, supplication for us, and we should be able to come to a very source place where we can be able to say, God, thank you for the gift of life, and that we are, yes, alive today is your will, is your purpose, is your that has kept us, is your grace that has kept us. So, yes, I believe you are a very strong personality in God's very uh, in God's view, in God's kingdom, in God's created world, and that to be able to bring about the peace that is very that I believe will help to keep the world manageable. So, how are you doing today? How is everything with you? So, I want to know those of you who are with me here. Yes, I saw Nigie Best. Thank you for coming live with me. And who else is here? I can see 1967 Ford meeting is here, and yeah, Ali is here. I can see, yes, Wes came and others just came and then rushed by. So please, let's see what we can do to give this a thumbs up, and then like and love, share, and then give others some opportunity to part of this broadcast by way of sharing the broadcast to their very esteemed network or handles, their Instagram, their Facebook, and their Green Hub on WhatsApp. Share this broadcast so people can be able to connect and then be part of what is being shared today. Happy weekend to you all and sundering. May God bless and keep all you guys on your respective place of abode. May the Lord bless and just lift you up more than you can ever think or imagine, according to His very power that is at work in you. So please get involved. Get involved. Let somebody get to know that you are with me. Let someone get to know that you're with me by way of your share the broadcast to your very loved ones, so they can be able to participate in this very important broadcast. So, how are you guys fending today? How is everything going? So, I believe it is well with you and your loved ones. It is well with you and your beloved ones out there. Please share the moment, share the show, share the uh, the broadcast. Share the broadcast with me, and let's keep riding. So, why is the world not the way it should be? Yes. And is it the only time you are experiencing the fact, or you're having the feeling that the world is totally a mess or chaotic place? I'm putting the question forward so you can be able to give me some interactive answers. Yeah, share with me what is your take on the world that we all are in, witnessing the ups and downs, the twists and turns, and we're seeing the political upheavals. We're seeing all manner of twists and turns in the polity, in socio-economic situation of the countries and nations of the world. We see so many uh, uprising up and here and there. We see in Europe. We see the uprising in America. We had tons and tons of states of the Federation, of the States of the Union in America are turning against the regime or the administration of President Trump. Yes, there's also so many upheavals in Eastern Bloc of Europe and some far eastern, what they call the Soviet bloc, the Czechoslovakia, the Slovenia. We saw what happened in this country that is very close to Ukraine. So all of this, where's President Zelensky and the other country of close by, they are battling with all kinds of changes that are being done in that country as a result of the infiltration of Russia and their ideology. So what it is that people are not seeing now today. So in Nigeria, where there's supposed to be a pace setter in Africa, is sludging back into a chaotic path of very bad economic policy that has thrown the country into the very austere uh, situation where it is like no other time in history of the country, where there's, after the removal of fuel subsidy, the country seems to have slumped back into a very big recession. Politically, recession, your economic recession, you have a high inflation rate where nobody is able to afford the common and basic things, basic necessities of life is becoming a very hard things, like traveling to the moon to acquire something. How are you doing today? God bless you, Sony. God bless you, Sony. God bless you. I can really appreciate your coming to this live stream today. God bless you. Thanks. Oh, Sony Collins, 15 or so, or 20, 20, 27 or thereabout. So we are all in this together. Why are we in this together? We're in a world that is confused. Confused in the sense that the world is not able to come to understanding. Somebody will question, why are there unions and war alliances and great confederations? Why are there allies? Why are there, organizations we call the world organization like the UN? Why? What is the UN up to? And why is the UN not able to coordinate anything, or it's just a gathering of people? God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Nigie best. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, so you begin to wonder, why is it that people are just not able to come together to draw the same rope as one people? So it is a cause for questioning. It's cause for, yes, a moment of sober reflection. In a way, obviously it is pathetic, very pathetic to see that you don't have a very unique and cohesion in terms of the governance of our nation. There's so much pathetic situation in our country, Nigeria, for instance, where the governing and the ruling party is like having no headway, so to speak. So we can say that that country is not really doing well. So yes, they contribute to the fact that the world isn't a place where what it should be. Please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be giving you a very good and very important topic that will be a food for thought. I want to give food for thought, so you can be able to um, have something to really crack your imagination, your your brain to as to how we can foster or provide a solution to some very important questions that are affecting all of us as humans and as citizens of different countries. So, what is happening in the country you belong? What is everything going on well there? So, I want to just write for me. I put up that question. The world is confused. So, I want to hear from you. I want to know whether or not your place is there any sign of confusion. Is there any sign of confusion in the country where you belong? Where you belong? Is there any sign of confusion? So I believe that many places, many parts of Africa is confused, and then yes, in terms of being able to draw a roadmap, the economic roadmap, a political roadmap, and yeah, socially, I can think of nowhere else like Africa, where people are so socially yes integrated. Yes, socially people are good, but politically it is zero. Economically it is zero, and yeah, socially I can say it is a bit yeah, we can say we can give some pass mark socially. People are socially inclined to living a life that is based on hope. So people are just hopeful that things will become better and become better and more better tomorrow. So that is why there's more social cohesion in Africa. Social cohesion. People are they are relating socially because of yes the fact that they will have to keep hope alive. Yeah, people have to keep hope alive. Yes, that is obviously the reason why there is seem to be social uh, bustling and hustling in every nook and cranny of African society. There is seem to be social connectivity, social understanding, and alignment. So, but when it comes to political alignment, people are far apart. There's a lot of yes, a lot of yeah, split in terms of people's understanding of the political direction. There is so much chaos, and why is this so? Because there is no clear-cut political system that is in place other than the self acclaimed democratic process that people have adopted in their very countries that are not truly democratically entrenched. So that is why I believe the countries and indeed Africa in particular is confused because we are not democratic. We are not. Many are not militarily. Yeah, but they are practicing dictatorship. There is totalitarianism. There is all manner of yes, nepotism, and the most ironic and very confusing and more disturbing part of the whole equation is the fact that a lot of our country are so tilted towards ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism is a system whereby the nation is tilted towards ethnic identity rather than national interest. So everyone is treated towards their ethnic nationality more than they believe in their national identity as a country, so as it were. So Africa is the way it is because there is no cohesion, there is no uh, corporate agreement as to how to fuse together. So we are politically divided, economically not stable. We are religiously more deeply divided religiously. And then it's only on a social level that we can say, well, there is hope. It is social understanding or the social uh, cohesion that seems to be fostered between the African populace that is giving us a kind of hope for tomorrow rather than the political uh, prospect. When it comes to political prospect, the fact that we can become politically entrenched and inclined to the true political democratic process that is so preached the world over. When you think about that, there is no hope because a country like Nigeria has never set a good example. A country as big as Nigeria that we call the Giant of Africa has failed woefully to be able to give Africa a direction in terms of the political direction that African, as a continent really uh, is in dire need of. So we have failed, and I've always said in many fora that Nigeria is the reason Africa is deteriorating. Yes, Nigeria is the reason Africa is not moving forward. Yes, if you think from a social perspective, see the gain Africa has made in terms of social cohesion. You see, Nigeria has influenced Africa in so many ways socially, and we can see that play out in the area of sports. Nigerian sporting, advancement and development has really come of age that a lot of countries in Africa has even uh, copied and grown more than Nigeria when it comes to the field of soccer. They have almost overtaken Nigeria. And when talking about music, Nigeria is taking the lead on that. Yeah, think about it. The film industry, Nigeria has really influenced the whole of Africa, and socially, there's a lot of cohesion and integration. Yes, powered by the wave of the break wave. Oh my God. Powered by the wave of the new social media revolution that has taken the world by storm. Nigeria has really influenced Africa by taking the social media revolution to a whole new level. Yes, we can say socially, Africa, Nigeria in particular, is making a very big gain and making a great stride in developing the social cohesion of the African continent. So, in that regard, Africa is moving forward. Yes, there is no place in Africa where you don't have the the new wave of cinematography, where a lot of African nations have become so together in terms of so that is it. Africa is making that very great speed in social uh, development. Socially, Africa is really developing because we are growing together. Why is it developing? Because socially, it is the youth population that is making that great impact. So, because of the great demographic disparity in terms of population distribution in Africa, the youth population makes over at least, if not 50% of the population of Africa. So the youth population is making that wave possible. Yes, scientifically or technologically, Africa is still backward because our government have not developed the capability of the capacity of the youth population to train our youth on how to grow our economy via the technological and scientific innovation. So that is what has made China a global phenomenon. It's a global phenomenon because it has been able to invest in its youth population. Science and technology has taken a great root in the Asian tiger, talking about China, India, talking about Indonesia, talking about Malaysia, and all the Asian tigers. They have sold and impacted that continent with a huge investment in the youth population to be able to drive their economy. So, in a continent where the economy is not youth friendly in terms of their investment in science and technology, chances are that the nations will not be able to forge ahead. And so we are looking forward to a continent that is pro youth population, pro youth development. So when a country and a continent is pro youth development, you find that there's going to be a very big demographic advancement in terms of the science in the area of technology. So today you can see what is going on in many countries like Nigeria. You can see some improvement or some sign of technological inclination of our youth. If you watch in Nigeria, in Ghana, in a few other countries where you have youth who are scientifically oriented, you find that the youth population, they are all able to, there are a whole demography, there are a whole chunk of the youth that are scientifically oriented, where you see young people are making some stride in developing and building from the scratch some very high-tech machines, such as motorbike, such as automobile, and even the making some very remarkable advancement in the aeronautic engineering. So if Africa is able to invest in the aeronautic engineering and then invest in the science and mechanical engineering within the youth population, you find that it will drive the economy in the next 20 years. Africa will be a way ahead in terms of our drive to bring about a continent that is self-reliant, not on foreign goods, not on foreign made or foreign finished goods, but on homemade, yes, local content produce or finished goods that are made in Africa. So the government of Africa must come of age, and we must all join the crusade in heralding and telling the government of Africa to invest more in the youth population that will be able to harness their potentials in the area of science and technology and computer information technology as well. That way we'll be able to build Africa and make our local content very, very attractive for foreign investment to be able to come to us. We cannot always rely on the West for everything. We cannot rely on the West for everything and believe that tomorrow we are going to become a self-reliant continent. No, we get all, if not all, our automobile that we use in Africa. 99.9% are imported. So how then do we believe that Africa can be self-reliant in the next 20 years if we have not been able to invest in the local content for our youth to have a space where they can grow their talent and their capacity in the automobile or in the scientific development of our continent. Yes, we blame that African youth are unemployed. They are this and they are that, and we have not invested. So African leaders must come of age, and we must come of age to be able to remind ourselves that there is need for us to invest and invest again and again in the youth population. So how do we do the investment? By considering the educational sector and making more viable, creating a space where African educational system will be more youth friendly, and then be able to absorb young brain, training them to be scientifically oriented, and of course in the area of computer and information technology. So this is the age where we cannot be left behind. Africans cannot be left behind. The youth population cannot be left behind. Our young blood cannot be left behind. So we are appealing to every government. We are appealing to all the subnationals. We are appealing to multinationals. We are appealing to industries and all private sectors initiatives to collaborate with uh, NGOs and civil society organizations to be able to come together and then hold very intensive conversation and to be able to persuade our government in every continent, in every country of Africa, on how to at least dedicate at least if minimum, so minimum, the least they can dedicate to education must be at least 30% of their GDP. So once there is a consensus in African countries and nations of Africa to be able to dedicate at least 30% of their GDP on education, on developing education in the continent, with emphasis on building a youth capacity on science and technology, you find that it will drive the economy of Africa in the right direction in the next 2 decades. And Africa will become a self-reliant and independent in so many automobile and science related field and finished product that we need that will be able to help our continent. Having said that, education is one basic area that Africa must wake up to be able to invest massively. And that is why I am very passionate about bringing us into that very space to encourage a nation, to encourage a continent that will believe in Africa. Yeah, a continent develop a very great program that will be heard and spoken about in and across African nations to awaken the consciousness of our different government to wake up to the reality of our time, that we can no longer lag behind. We can no longer lag behind in our quest to achieve the Millennium Development Goal, which we have left off in the past. We have left off in the past decade. The Millennium Development Goal was supposed to be realized 10 years ago, but we could not achieve it because of our lack of seriousness. There was not seriousness, accountability We lacked the framework. We lacked the enthusiasm. We lacked the investment. We lacked the wherewithal to be able to put Africa and put our developmental goal on the front burner. That has been a big problem in the African realizing our very lofty goal. So, as a player in the in the conversation of making Africa great again, I believe it is my role and your role to synergize. It is our role to collaborate. It is our role to team up together so we can be able to drive the narrative that will ensure that our leaders are able to adopt some very drastic measure that will help to navigate a new era of change. So we are all looking for change to take place everywhere, and we want our people to come together every place so we can be able to put our heads together and then speak the truth to power. And this is the time, and the time is here, and is here right now, that we no longer have to begin to dwell on past achievements or the intention we're supposed to make. We cannot be able to we will not continue to trust in our strength and in our ability. We will not trust in our yes, whatever. We will trust in the new strength of the youth populations. Trust in our conscious, very cohesive and collaborative one sense of oneness to drive a new Africa that will bring about a revolutionary mandate. So that is where we are headed. That is where we are headed. So I call on everyone and sundry, especially those who are they are under the sound of my voice, to understand there is the need to bring our story to the fore. Our story has to be told. Yes, our narrative of Africa must change. The fact that we have lagged behind for so many years is not a yardstick to remain back and then be obscured in our drive to come together as a continent. So there are measures to be taken. Yes, measures to be taken in achieving the end result as we quest for a better Africa. The measure that must be taken must be first. Yes, work on our leaders. Leadership is key. If we must achieve any milestone, if we must achieve any trait, yes, the leadership of our continent must wake up. Yes, I repeat, the leadership of our continent must wake up. How do we wake up? We must speak the truth to power. We must be able to tell our leaders, you have not fared well, you have not done well. You have not done well at all. Yeah, you try to maintain the status quo. Maintaining the status quo in the sense that African Union remains African Union. You've only changed, it was Organization of African Unity that was changed to African Union. Yes, with the hope that Africa will be able to, yes, accelerate and is a developmental vision towards a more united Africa, like to that will be semblance of what is obtainable in Europe. Yes, European Union, the African Union, Yes, but have we been able to even come close to what Europe has done? Yes, if we must be able to bring African Union towards its realizing its goal, we must be able to bring the framework. There is a charter. There are dreams. There is a constitutional framework. There are institutional framework that was read and that was drafted, read, and then signed by every member state. So the member state must be able to adhere to all the provisions of the constitution of the AU. Once these institutional bodies are not able to adhere or adopt the statement, the singular statement of the AU, which is to unite Africa together. Yes, which modality I believe has been put in place. But the problem, as I believe, as it is always, is the implementation. Africa has not been able to implement its objective. If there were principal guiding rules that were put in place, if there were goals that were drafted, all member states must be able to come together to say it is time to adopt the common resolution of the AU that have been passed in Addis Ababa for many decades now, since AU was bettered. So that is the first step to take. So the youth of our days, the youth population must be able to drive the narrative, must be able to press the government of our nations to come of age and be resolute. They must be able to wake up. They must be able to be intentional. They must be able to speak with oneness. They must be able to speak purposefully, and then with a very clear-cut agenda that will help to bring about a new work towards the realizing the goal of African unity. So, yes, I believe another thing that must be done will be to break away from the current mindset of having a border African disintegration, regionalism all over the place. So we have West African region. Now we have another region within the region. So we have Burkina Faso, Mali, yes, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger becoming another 3 block, teaming together to form one kind of miniature, very microscopic region that is that is deadly. It's not serving the region any good. It's not doing the region any good. So that must be scrapped. I know Ibrahim Toure is being a zealous young man. He's a zealous young man. He took power. Is of the zeal to make a name. I don't know if he's trying to make a name. Whatever he's trying to do after removing the president of that country, or the democratically elected president of that country, his goal must not be to perpetrate himself in power. The goal of Traore must be to build the institution that will be solid, lay a solid groundwork, a foundation that is very solid, strong, deep rooted, so that once a democratic dispensation takes root or is planted, it will be sure to stay and stand the test of time going forward. So that is what Ibrahim Traore must think of doing. I know he has succeeded in removing all the bottlenecks first dismantling the French colonial power, dislodging and removing their 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 post from Burkina Faso. Yes, we know their trick. The trick of the colonial master is to form some kind of warlike situation so that they can bring their so-called troop, and then they start exploiting the goods and the minerals of the country under the guise of trying to make peace. That has been the tactics. The same was the strategy they adopted in Niger, and then trying to want to act like they are brokering peace through the United Nations, and then they hide under the cover to make the nation and then transport and export their wealth and then leave the country poor in every respect. The same thing is going on in Nigeria as we speak. We have a whole lot of mineral resources that are mined in the north. Are you talking about uranium? Are you talking about even silicon? We are talking about yes, all kinds of minerals, rubies. We are talking about emerald. We are talking about gold. All are mined in the north as we speak, and thousands and millions of dollars are taken away, are carted away on a monthly basis. And these monies and billions of dollars are unaccounted for. They are unaccounted for because of the mafias that have held Nigeria bound, spellbound. And these mafias are masterminded from the military. These mafias they have their cronies, they have their ringleaders in the military, and these people keep on perpetrating a culture of impunity whereby they disregard the national direct drive to be able to harness the solid minerals and all the mineral resources of the country under one united economic yes powerhouse that will help the narrative. Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh, Destiny Loved, so you are blessed. Thank you for helping out. Thank you so much for coming in. God is going to bless you, my dear sister. I really, really can't forget you. I won't forget you. You have been a blessing and you remain so. So we are talking about harnessing. Is Africa or is the world in trouble? Yes, confused. I believe the world is confused. That is my take. So we have been able to trying to highlight why the world is confused. We are confused because we've not been able to build a foundation on which peace should be entrenched, on which peace and tranquility should thrive. So that is the reason, the bottom line, why our world seems to be confused, and rightly so. So what are we talking about? I've been analyzing why Africa is in this kind of mess. The fact that we have not been able to drive a culture where we can be able to put unity on our front burner. Yes, we'll be talking about we have to dismantle all the bottlenecks in AU. We have to dismantle the bottleneck in our sub-region. Now we have a new crop of yes, a miniature or a microscopic region masterminded by Traore and his ally. So that group has to be dismantled. There's no need for them to do a passport for that region. It is needless. I'm sure these young men are of the mindset that is, yes, let's form a bloc, a regional bloc. We cannot unite together as a West African region. Then we have another region that is in between. So you are creating a very big obstruction. You are creating a bottleneck in the flow of the original vision to have Africa as one united entity that is going to be driven by the power and the force of unity. So I say share this broker. This broker is not just like any other broker. This broker is speaking from the point of view of understanding of our continent, and is backed by my understanding and by the inspiration that God has given me, and by the experience I have as a player and as a someone that is truly involved in promoting peace, tranquility, economic revolution, and international cohesion. So I want to help me distribute these brokers, and I'm going to be speaking more so on this topic in other platform and fora, so that we can be able to develop a cohesion, and then build a consensus amongst people of like minds. We have to bring people of like minds together. That is why we have an organization that is called Hands for Africa. So the reason for that, or Hands for Africa, is so monumental. The monumental reason, and one of the most important reason, is to create and help foster unity amongst African youths. Yeah, through sports, through educational, through exchange, through empowerment and the like. So we are going to be ensuring that African countries will be coming together on different platforms, uh, on different subjects, to be able to foster unity, oneness, and then break barriers. Yes, that is some of the central focus and objective of Hands for Africa, is to help to break the barriers. The barriers holding our continent down are so many. The barriers on in terms of lack of economic cohesion, lack of regional integration, lack of a seamless peace and security network. Yes, we are going to be able to advocate for a border-free, borderless Africa. So we can. What is the use of having? What is the need of having a border all across Africa? Then we come to semi-border. We have our Aflao border. We have the Benin Republic border. We have the Burkina Faso border. We have the Mali border. We have Senegalese border in Rosso. We have Mauritanian border in Sahrawi. We have Algeria border. We have all the borders that will not allow Africa to be able to unite and then have a flow and the exchange of goods and services being transacted on a free ride. It is not going to help Africa. Africa is only going to grow when it is free of very strong borders. Yes, we're not talking about. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be security borders. Yeah, we're not saying that there should be security border, but it shouldn't be to hinder the people from passing with their goods and services. And of course, we must be able to streamline the regulate our border system by having honest people. We must have honest security borders that will have the same objective. They will have the same code of conduct from beginning from North Africa to Central Africa and to South Africa. The security network, border control agents must have the same code of conduct. And this code of conduct is what they are going to be implementing in all the borders. And this treaty will be signed by the African Union, that all the borders should have the synergy, and the people that are mining from different countries should have the same training, so that once they are trained to be able to man the borders in the line with the provision of the African Union guidelines, you find that it will be easy for the people to have a free pass between the countries, so that there will be no kind of obstruction. There will not be bottlenecks, and the free movement of goods and services will be done in matter of minutes rather than hours and days. By the time that is done, you find out that there's going to be a massive flow of goods and services. So, number two, we must remove all the visa entry conditions that are being placed on African populations, Africans from going, accessing their different countries. Of course, these are brothers together. These are brothers and sister nations. Of course, although we are separated by the infringement of the colonial administrations, or the colonial rules that helped to divide and rule the continent for many, many decades. Yes, of course, one of the good things colonial master, the colonial regime did, was to kind of teach the different regions the certain language that will help the people to be able to communicate between tribes. That is a good one. If the colonial master only came to educate and train Africans on how to understand themselves, that would have been a very good thing. But they didn't come for that. They came, yes, with the religion, and they came with their the exploitation. On the other hand, at the back of their mind, of course, the very dark and sad, yes, legacy of the colonial regime was the exchange of slaves for just very, meaningless goods and services they were giving Africa. You took slaves, but you gave us guns to kill ourselves. You took slaves and you gave us, some irons, and that you took from us. You went and put it into cutlasses and hoes for us to be using for our agriculture. Those are the things you did. But aside that, you never did anything other than to just take the slaves and then give us some implements for our agricultural cultivation, and then you left us with more guns than you did give us yes, agricultural implements. So on the whole, the colonial regime did not do more than just colonizing us with their language, which is the only thing I can say. Well, they have been putting, yes, French, English, Portuguese, then you have Arab, and all the rest. So in the whole, the loser is Africa. We lose. We lost. The reason we lost, it was that we sold everything, we gave them everything, and we got division in return. We got divided. You can see that French people don't understand English people, and English people don't understand the Portuguese. And it's even more. It would have even more be better if we were left with our ethnic languages. People would have learned their ethnic different identities. More of their people will learn different languages so they can be able to communicate. Yeah, you would have, many of our people would have been speaking Fulani. They will be speaking Fulani. They will be speaking all kinds of languages, and they will be understanding ourselves if that is the case. So maybe, just maybe, African leaders would have been able to come together to say, oh, let's adopt the most prominent and predominant language in those days, to see how we can be able to foster unity, and going forward adopt a national linguistic formula. But that wasn't the case. Of course, we now speak English, we speak French, and some speak Arab, and then Portuguese and the like. So these are the legacy of the colonial administration in the past. Now, going forward, we must be able to use the legacy in a more positive way. Yes, we must be able to direct the legacy of the Western powers in a positive manner that will benefit us. Yes, of course, the Arabs must in themselves be willing to be more African. The Arab cannot say, well, we're in Africa, then you cannot be Africans. We see more of North Africa, there are more Arabs gravitating towards Middle East than there are Africans. Yes, people from Mauritania, people from Algeria, people from Sudan, Morocco, or Tunisia, Libya, and Egypt, they must they should come to terms with themselves, and they must be very intentional. They must tell us whether they are Africans or they are not African, or they are Middle Easterns. We must know where they belong. If North Africa is not defined, we cannot be able to move together. Two cannot work together except they agree. Sub-Saharan Africa is going to be more more difficult to be integrated into a more formidable African sub-region if we are divided along ethnic and religious lines. That is my take. So, having said that, I believe it is time for us to understand that yes, the first steps is to remove the dichotomy in the language, in the border, to have a borderless Africa. Then we would remove all the bottleneck. Yes, good evening to you, my sister Ngozi. God bless you. If anyone, God bless you. Thank you so much. God bless you. I recognize, I appreciate you coming to my live broadcast. Ngozi, God bless you. Thank you so much. Good evening to you. So, what are we talking about today? We are talking about, African confusion. Yeah, we are confused. We are confused, more confused than ever. No. So that is the take. That is the suggestion that we are making here today. Please, I want to subscribe to the channel and then do more to like, love, and then share, subscribe more, and then that will be a very big one for the page. So yes, we must have a free border. Then yes, we must be able to have another third process towards an independent Africa. Must be to have one united African passport. Yes, of course, we can have a regional one if we will, but the African Union passport must be a thing that all African leaders must sign up for, a united African passport that will help us realize the African dream of being able to move from one country to the other, and then for the purpose of economic and political growth. Yeah, that said, we can then begin to move forward towards other integrations. Of course, we have to integrate our police force. We have to integrate our army. We have to integrate every section of our polity. Then once those are done gradually, then we'll begin to talk about having some kind of referendum in terms of choosing a national, a continental wide single administration that will help have one kind of president that preside over the affairs of our continent, having every other country as a state, and then the leader of the country or the headquarters will be stationed in one nation that is going to be of the unanimous choice. Whether we're going to retain Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, yes, that will be a matter for discussion. So, and referendum. So, that is it. African leaders must be able to come together. Yes, we cannot continue in pursuing our multi ethnic, ethnocentric, divided uh, agenda. We cannot pursue it. We cannot be able to pursue that. And we are talking about African unity on the sideline. It can't work. African unity must be something that will be talked upon and laid. The foundation will be laid upon. Laid and pursued. That is it. You cannot talk about African unity, and on the other hand, you are talking about something else. Yes, many of our leaders, they just play with the word African unity. It is they are playing lip service. They are playing lip service to the topic of African unity. African unity is African unity. There is no middle way. There is no middle uh, word to it. If we are united as one, we must all unite as one. If we are not uniting as one, then we call it quit. We call it, the way it is. So that is my take, and I'm gonna pursue this goal for the rest of my life. I am so committed to African unity. I'm going to pursue this role for the rest of my life, making sure that African unity is paramount in my pursuit. So please, I want to subscribe to my channel. Please, I love you guys. Please subscribe to this channel and let's build this this page together. So I asked a question: is the world confused? So yes, in my own view, in my own opinion, there seems to be a more confused world that we are in than having understanding. Going forward, I'm going to be analyzing and talking about why we are confused, why we look confused, and more so because of the happenings in our country. So, yes, then I'll be delving into some very local things that has to do with Nigeria as a country, because that is where I come from, and I have to also speak regarding the happenings in Nigeria and in the politics and in the states of the country. So please give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. You can drive that thumbs up. Make sure that you are driving that thumbs up, please. I beg your pardon. Please give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, please. Let's make it go forward. Let's make it go forward. Yes, with God, all things are possible. With God, all things are possible. With God, all things are possible. subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. When you do subscribe to this channel, you really have done so much. Please, you would have done so much, you know. No. It's too much now. So please subscribe to my channel and let's ride. Don't God bless you. If you lower, God bless you, Janet. Hello, yes, God bless you. I'm so delighted to have you guys. God bless you so much. I appreciate you. So is Africa confused? If you want to direct the question and to be more specific, is how confused is Nigeria? So our country must not be left without being without us highlighting some of the reasons why we feel that country is in dire strait. So we have a whole lot of things going on. Accusations and counter accusations everywhere. You see lots of issues, and it takes. That's why a leader in Nigeria must be a young person. It's only a young person that will be able to navigate the country problem in a very speedy manner. If a young man, when I say young, not really young to the point that it will be less than 60. Yes, even if it's less than 60, it will be a plus to Nigeria. We almost got there. If we have allowed that young man to not really young man, by Nigerian standard is young. Yes, this country would have moved forward by now. So there wouldn't be all this fuel problem that we're talking about. Even there will be fuel problem, there will be a way to sort it out. You cannot just say, well, the teeth is paining you. You just remove the teeth, just break it with hammer. You have to find a way of making sure that you apply medication until the teeth is very is sure to be free before you can pull it out. So that is the problem that Nigeria is facing now. A serious devaluation of the currency that has left the country so banana republic nature is. You left it like banana republic. Yes, banana republic, because it is no longer a viable country financially. So you can imagine where you're having almost 170,000 naira to just $100. So that is very, very unacceptable. So in those days, you used to talk about Ghana must go. Ghana must go was when Ghana was going through their own serious problem before the coup that was driven by Rawlings, brought everybody to correction. So do we have to go through that before Nigeria can correct itself? I don't know. Do we have to go through another era of military regime? Thank you, Lovett. God bless you. God bless you, my darling sister. God bless you. How are the twins doing today? I hope they are fine. You are blessed and lifted. Thank you so much. So Africa is confused. Nigeria is more or less a confused state because there is no cohesion. There is no cohesion. So they every day they come up with different issues, and the Senate will be talking about something very ridiculous. Ridiculous in the sense that you cannot be talking about having another 36, another 31 state now, to add to the one that you have, who will become a 67 states of the federation. 67 states. You have not been able to manage 36. You want to create another 31. So that is the height of confusion that is noticeable in the country. It's a terrible height of what confusion that is noticeable in the country, because when people who are supposed to speak up, they are not saying the right thing. Yes, you see, the legislator will be doing anything they can. They feel that is their right to do. There is a problem. Legislation will be feeling their right to do anything, and they'll be talking about how to do just about anything, like what they said they want to do. So why talk about that now to give another 31 states, creating more problem than solutions? So if we are talking about uh, regions not being fully funded, they have no inclusivity, there's no all of that. You want to give them their identical, you want to make them more ethnic and religiously divided. Go ahead and give everybody a state. If not even 31 self, you can give another 200, so that, because 500, we have 500 ethnic nationality, we just divide Nigeria into 500 ethnic nationality, so that all the states will have a share. You will have a share in the state distribution. Yes, everybody has to have a share in the state distribution. We have to have a share. Everybody must have a say. Yes, have a say in the sense that it is not enough I stop. Where did I kick? So, what are we talking about? You have to create at least minimum of the 6 geopolitical zone must be visited every 6 days. We do election, so we have enough manpower, you have enough resources deployed, you have enough personnel that will man the elections. And you find that South have done their own certain date, at least a week. Then once you are able to collect the result from South, you collect the result from Southeast, Southwest, North Central, North East region, and Northwest. Then you are able to now declare the election based on the result from each geopolitical zones. And then you have, in 6 days, for instance, you would have completed the election. You can declare 6 days, work free. It will not kill anybody. So that we'll be able to have a well, conducted, free and fair, credible election in the country. It's better than having a one-day hush-hush election, and then you have to spend 6 months or to 1 year in disputing the results of a one-day election that you did. Is that not madness? We have been practicing some, very chaotic electoral system. It has to be reformed. It has to be reformed. So that once we are able to get it right, in terms of electoral requirement for a true democratic process to be achieved, then we will be talking about a free, fair, and credible election. So electoral reform must be conducted. Of course, some of the reforms will also involve how to better practice a voting system that is free of that very controversial and rigorous exercise. It must be done electronically, and it must be transmitted electronically across the country. That way, it will be free of, we'll save ourselves of litigations, we'll save ourselves of time to go into another period of unrest. Instead of governing the people, you are using another time of 6 months to battle as to who won the election. So there are a whole lot, and I believe Nigerians and Africans are so intelligent, but our leaders don't want things to be done well, because they know that when things are done well, they cannot be able to get there. They can't be able to get to the corridor of power. So, having said that, I want to close for today, and I'll take it off from there. About the confused situation in our continent and our country. So I bless you. I thank you for staying with me, Loved, Destiny, and Blessing, Ifeoluwa, and all of you. I say thank you for joining me tonight. So I'm going to reach out to you, and thank you for being with me, and hope to see you tomorrow again. It's going to be, until then, a good night and happy Sunday tomorrow. God bless you, and bye for now.